Greetings everyone, I hope we are all well. This is Lusapeto bringing you 8 p.m. lights out. While this might be a little awkward if you're listening to this in the dark or anticipating your share of load shedding for the day. In this podcast series, we speak about what load shedding essentially is, as well as how it affects township economies, or retail enterprises rather, in particular. So sit back, relax. This is 8 p.m. lights out, where we shed some light on load shedding by acquainting you with the dark. In this episode, I walk the streets of Deep Kloof Zone 6 in Soweto, speaking to the owners of retail enterprises to hear what they have to say about this issue. Okay, what type of business do you run or manage?
I'm running a food business.
And then what type of food do you sell?
We're selling fast food, but we are too diverse in our meals, as we have tramazine, shawarma, and a degood. As everyone knows, a tramazine, you only find it in Sentin, for instance, fine dinings. You can't find it here, guys.
So how is
even a shawarma?
Okay, how has load shedding affected your business?
Load shedding has not affected the business, because when we started this business, we were aware about the load shedding crisis, the crisis that our country has about load shedding. That's why we are using gas stoves, using solar lights. We ain't fully dependent on electricity at all.
So you've had to put measures in place because of load shedding?
In order load shedding cannot affect to make the business running, even during load shedding crisis.
Then you mentioned that you've never been affected. How long has the business been running for?
The business has been operating from April last year up until now. It has already given birth to a newborn baby. So that means there is potential in the business. Yes.
And then, what would you like to see happen in order to salvage the situation as far as your business is concerned?
Which situation? The load shedding situation. You asked me that what government can do in order to avoid load shedding.
What would you like to see happening?
What would I like to see? What would I like to see? I would like to see the end of load shedding. That's the bottom line. And then they should stop taking coals to those Western countries. You get my point? Yes.
Then do you foresee the situation improving?
At the moment, they have even appointed a minister of electricity, which is selfish from my own perspective. We have engineers, we have those qualified engineers who will be able to stop this crisis, but they decided to appoint a minister, which they're not serious at all about coming up with a solution.
Do you feel as though your business experiences load shedding in comparison to other businesses in the area?
They do. Yes, they do. But most of these local business, they are aware. Most of them they're using gas cylinders for their businesses.
Okay.
2 baking stoves for electricity. Maybe they are 4 hours able to use electricity by 4 hours.
And then you mentioned that your business has birthed a new baby, it's growing. Yes. Do you think that load shedding can impact that in any way?
At the moment, yes and no. It can. How? By composition. Yeah. Not to avoid the competition, to kill it.
Okay, that was quite strategic.
Just to kill the
That was
competition.
strategic. Okay.
Everyone around here knows when you want to tramazine, shwam, so either here, one place, one business, one brand. That's called terrorism.
Terrorism.
Yes.
You're
And-
terrorizing us like the
yes.
government with load shedding.
Exactly.
What type of business do you own or do you run?
My business.
Yes. What type of business is this? What do you sell? What do you
I
buy?
sell cold drink, chicken, meat.
Everything.
Everything is like grocery shop,
Okay.
supermarket.
Okay, thank you. And then how has load shedding affected your business?
Yeah, now is our biscuits. Our sometimes chicken is rotten, cold drink is not cold, so I don't make it cook. Now is load shedding is making a lot of problem.
What has that done to customers and your business?
Yeah, it's lot of now is lot of his problem for his electricity. Every day is 3 times, 4 times is load shedding.
Okay.
Now is our business is very quiet.
Okay. Do you foresee the situation improving or anything?
The situation is now is very bad. Very bad now this situation on load shedding.
And how long has this business been running for?
My business is 6 years running. Yeah.
And do you see the business growing in the future?
Yeah. Before it was is good. Right now is bad. Is business is very bad now. Is but is for electricity.
And then what would you like to see happen to change this?
Yeah, you must change something for do it for electricity. You must try to better.
So what would you suggest if they were asking you now, what must you do? What would you ask them to do?
So what must I do?
You tell me.
Of course, I tell the government you can try to understand is put no load shedding, so there won't be business is better, so you can try to understand.
What type of business do you run or manage?
Mo ke business ya dijo. Actually ke chisanyama. We fry meat and then we sell pap. Yeah. Ke fry.
Okay. Oh, buy and buy.
Yeah.
Okay. Then how has load shedding affected your business?
Yeah, at first in a little stage 6 I think it never affects how because diesel is too expensive for service generator. So sometimes the service diesel because toilet generator it has to run for 4 hours. But now since the inverters are in, at least even though the inverters but at least at some point reservoir generator if only these inverters the low.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when are you at an advantage to an extent for you are able to have generators, the inverters?
Yeah, Runa, we are fortunate because by the Kenya generator, then after that they decided to we are spending a lot on diesel, so we might as well put on the inverters. The inverters they charge themselves again. So whenever they are low, we switch on a generator. That's when they run it on until maybe after some few minutes we switch it off. Then they
Okay,
can
so
go on.
You haven't really felt the
Um,
effects of load shedding.
We did before the inverters. We did feel it, especially on diesel.
And how was
We
it
feel
then?
it because they had to cut some hours for staff. Yes, yeah.
And then how many people has this establishment employed?
More on 6. Maybe 3 or 4. Not to prove I know 2. Yeah.
And do you see load shedding impacting the growth of the business in any way?
A lot. I think some businesses, just non-body generators, they suffer. Some of them have to close. Some of them have to cut staff, actually to retrench, not even to cut hours for staff. So I think it's another problem. But you feel like themselves. And but what tshwanetseng ba safare are those ba dutse go high by the we are taking care of them.
Let's say when load shedding was still bad, you had to let go, like cut down the hours, some people who are working here, what would you like to see happen? What would you like to see change?
A change, maybe the government can do better. And us, the Rona, we can do better because obviously most of us, we don't buy electricity. So I think that is the worst thing area to kill economy around. We don't buy electricity. I understand that most of us maybe are reserves. But if you can buy electricity, maybe to help the government, maybe sustain electricity for all of us.
What kind of business do you run?
Tailoring and nail tech here.
And then how has load shedding affected your business?
It has affected it because now, like, sometimes clients come here. I can't do them because there's no electricity.
And then what have you had to do in order to manage or combat not having electricity?
Nothing so far. We're hoping we'll have money to buy maybe a generator or something, but at the moment, we don't have that kind of money.
Okay, do you foresee this situation improving or getting worse?
It's getting worse. It's getting worse.
And then do you feel as though like your business experiences load shedding differently to the other businesses in the area?
I think we are affected the same way, but then it depends on how you manage. Like some people, they have generators, you see, things like that. Some people have solars, so they have a way of managing. Otherwise, we're affected all the same.
And then how many days a week does your business operate?
7 days. He's open 7 days.
And then how many hours a day on average do you find that you are without electricity?
On average.
It depends on the load shedding.
Because sometimes it's 6 hours a day. Sometimes like this week is 2 hours a day. So maybe we can say roughly 3 hours average, maybe.
And then do you have prospects of your business growing?
Does it grow?
It has to grow.
It has to, but
It
then
has to grow. It
But
has.
then how do you feel load shedding is gonna affect that growth?
Since we depend on the electricity, so obviously it is affected in a bad way. It is affected in a bad way.
Then what would you like to see happen if you were asked make a change or make a wish? What would you like to see happen?
We want electricity.
Business.
Electricity. Always on, always.
So that clients can come every time, now and then.
Like now, when she came, she had to phone me and ask about the schedule. What was the schedule? But then if, let's say she was not off, she was working, she wasn't going to come.
So it affects everything.
Mm.
Okay, thank you so much. What kind of business do you run or manage?
Like sithengisa amakota, ekuseni sipheka isoup, sithengisa ne-breakfast, like lunch, 12 until 6 sithengisa amakota.
And then how has load shedding affected your business?
Like uma uhamba ugezi sinokuzama ukuthi senze ngehasi, la ukuthi senzela ukuthi ama-customer athole amakota, yabona. Ya mara ma ihasi iphelile siyavala, akunokuthi sizenza kanjani.
And then Yahuza, you saying you had to buy a gas stove, nani, to keep it running. Expense of that, how has that affected your business?
Yo, irent like it's expensive. Like really. Mara siyazama akufani.
And then how long has the business been running for?
Long time. I think 9 years. Yes.
Then how many people are employed like through this business?
C3.
Okay.
Yes, C3.
How many days a week do you guys open like?
Like every day.
7 days a week.
Yes, 7 days.
Then what would you, Nje, as a citizen of South Africa, what would you like to see happen?
Like something like business with cool, like.
Then do you feel like load shedding has affected that in some way?
Yeah. Like load shedding maybe stop, maybe business ingakhula ukuthi maybe singashesa maybe 7, 8, yeah. Mawungahamba ngegezi like singakhona ukuthi sithenga isinkwa siningi like abantu bazothenga ukudla noma bangaphekanga bakhona ukuthi bazothenga ikota bahambe bayodla bathenga ukudla bahambe bayodla. Yabona ukuthi manje kunzima ukuthi sipheke ukudla and abantu kunganagezi so
What type of business do you run?
It's a food business, restaurant.
Okay, what kind of food do you sell?
I'm selling cow head meat.
Okay. And then how long has your business been running for?
It's been running, I think it's 5 years now.
Okay. And how has load shedding affected your business?
A lot. You know, when people lose jobs and stuff, so it also affects the business because, I mean, people, they don't work anymore now. They've lost their job and stuff, so it affected me a lot.
Okay, so you were affected more by people losing their jobs and less about
the electricity because I'm using the gas stove.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so have you always used a gas stove or did you buy it now because of load shedding?
No, I've always used a gas stove.
If you were asked what you would like to see happen or change, what would you say?
Oh, that's a tough one. For me, if like the government, if we can be able to change the government, that is, I mean, ruling now, so maybe, I mean, things can be changed, I don't know, but I think for me it's a government because, I mean, what can we do if, I mean, we've got no electricity? There's nothing we can do because they always tell stories, you know, so I think if we can change, I mean, if we can change the government, maybe things will be okay.
Okay. Do you have prospects of your business growing?
No.
Why not?
What can I say? I've never thought of it. Yeah.
Do you think load shedding has had an effect on that, or is it just a personal thing?
No, it did. Because, I mean, as I was saying, because, I mean, you know, most when I cook, I'm waiting for the customers to come and buy, you know. So I'm depending on the clients. So if there are no clients, so the business is not going, you know. So, yeah. So as soon as the people lose their job, so I'm also affected.
What kind of business do you run?
Things are good, I sell food.
Okay, and what kind of food is that?
Ox heart, ox liver, chicken, horse and steak.
And how has load shedding affected your business?
Not so much because izinto engisebenzayo they don't use electricity. I use coal, the gas.
And how long has your business been running for?
It's been 4 months, but the business has been running for 4 years now.
So the business is 4 years old?
Yeah.
Then 4 months?
Yeah.
Here?
I'm running somewhere else.
And how has that been going, like so far?
So far, it's been challenging because the money I used to make before on science, new clients, new structure, I've just been changing bit by bit.
Okay, but what do you think is the reason for maybe the slow growth, if I can call it that?
I think the change of structure, people that I used to buy from me before, Abasaz and Lang Corner, understand? Because I just left. I didn't make any notice to anyone, understand? But because now I'm making my client that they get used to me now. It's not like slow before. Like before, it was slow, but now it's pick up a bit by bit.
Then if Jay, you could make a wish on the load shedding situation, what would you want to see happen?
Obviously, load shedding is affecting, not just affecting the manga and news electricity, because why? It's interesting story, it's a fridge and all those things, understand? So the price is just coward, the slimmers. So immediately shedding a pair, which means the prices will go down. Really, my price of food, chicken's gonna go up sooner, understand? So it's affecting any other food.
Okay, so it doesn't affect you directly because you don't use the electricity, but in other ways
it's affected because something is stored is that there is electricity to use consume.
Mm-hmm. What type of business do you have or do you run?
I have a salon business.
Okay. And how can you say load shedding has affected your business?
It really affects a lot. It's disturbed the business a lot.
And in what way? How has it disturbed it?
Because if in salon we deal with electricity, if there's no light, it's not easy for us to work.
Okay. So what have you had to do in order to manage the effects of load shedding, of no electricity?
I think the government must provide us with a better solution to solve this issue of this load shedding.
Okay. So what would you like to hear from the government? What would you like to see the government do specifically?
To upgrade the standard of electricity problem.
Okay. And then how many days a week do you operate?
Every day a week.
7 days a week.
Yeah.
So on average, how many hours are you left without electricity? Like in a day, like on
roughly
average?
3 to 6 hours.
Okay, that's a lot. And how long has your business been running for?
For a long time, maybe more than 2 years.
This marks the end of our episode. We trust that you will join us for the next one. Bye.